The early voting numbers in Nevada look horrible for Democrats. In Florida, they look horrible for Democrats if you just compare them to 18 and 20. And I got to say, also in Florida, I'm hearing so many complaints that the Democratic Party, the state Democratic Party, just isn't there. There's no get out of the so things are spotty at best right now. You're going around to New York.
Yeah.
I got to say, every day, the New York Post. Every day, I mean, there's horrible crime stories every day on the front page of the New York Post, and people are talking about it.
So I spent the day yesterday with Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York. So this is a state that Joe Biden won by 23 points. This is a state where Governor Andrew Cuomo won re-election 4 years ago with Kathy Hochul on the ticket by 30 points. And she is in like a real fight. Like maybe she's 5 points up, maybe she's tied, they're not quite sure. And this is New York, and this is an election-denying Republican, Lee Zeldin, election-denying, very pro-life, cheered the day that the Dobbs decision came out, and it's like a real race. And so I think there is no Democrat right now that feels safe. You just don't know what's going on. And I was with Alyssa Slotkin in Michigan on Tuesday night when she did that event with Liz Cheney, and what occurred to me in comparing what I saw in Michigan versus New York is I feel like these red state Democrats, battleground Democrats, they're more prepared for this moment than the blue state Democrats.
Right.
I could see if there is this wave coming, and we don't know. It may be Kathy Hochul wins by 5-6 points. That's the most likely thing that is to happen. But it is, if you haven't been making a really good argument that weaves together the economy and democracy and abortion in a way that relates to voters, you are in, the way that I think Slotkin has done, you're in a real dangerous position.
And for people who say, oh, it just can't be done, you can't talk about preserving democracy, inflation, and crime at the same time, I would say pull a tape of Josh Shapiro, because that guy, man, that guy, Willie, we had him yesterday, he's doing everything at the same time. But there are issues that don't seem to be breaking Democrats' ways right now. But again, you never know. And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel good. I'm telling you, in 1998, you'll remember this, every Democrat was going, Bill Clinton has let us down, and blah, blah, blah. And people are writing op-eds going, we get what we deserve. Democrats are going to be slaughtered. And everybody was doing the postmortem before the race. And then Republicans did extraordinarily well. Democrats did extraordinarily well historically. Newt Gingrich has run out of town. Pollsters are wrong in 16. They were wrong in 20. The only reason I say this is I don't want to hear everybody going the day after, oh, everybody got this wrong. It's tight. Every race is tight. If there's a margin of error that breaks 2 points, as we always have the Republicans' way, it's going to be a massive landslide for Republicans. If there's margin of error that breaks 2 ways in the Democrats' way, it's going to be a huge night for Democrats. We're that close in every race. So I just don't want to hear people bitching and whining the day after the election that everybody got it wrong, because we're saying either side could win big right now. Vegas has their money on the Republicans. That's usually smart money. And you talk to people in the field, they have their money on Republicans. But you don't know who's going to go out and vote. You just don't know yet.
No, you don't know. And I will say to your point about Josh Shapiro, he was on our show yesterday, as you said, and I think so much attention has been paid to Fetterman and Oz, and rightly so, in that race. People haven't really seen a lot of Josh Shapiro, and I heard from a lot of people, you probably both did too, said, wow, he's impressive. He did exactly what Jen said, weaving abortion, democracy, the economy in, which with what looks like to be a winning message. But you're right, it's going to be different state by state. What works in Pennsylvania may not work in Georgia. The money is on the House. Jen knows this. Privately, Democrats say the House is gone. Maybe they won't say it on TV all the time. It's just a question of the margin.
Right.
But they're holding out hopes that Fetterman and Warnock and others can hold on, Mark Kelly, and keep at least the Senate so Republicans can't run roughshod through the Congress.
Well, we talk about Josh Shapiro. He is what Pat Buchanan would call a great political athlete, right? You look at Democrats, they have some real, Republicans have horrible candidates that, because of Donald Trump, they'd be 5-10 points ahead, but for Donald Trump. But Democrats have a couple of people like Kathy Hochul. She's never run statewide before at this level as governor, and so she's not going to, be able to respond most likely as effectively on the trail. You look at Katie Hobbs out in Arizona, it's still one of the most confounding things to me that she ceded the entire state to Kari Lake. She has ceded the entire state to Kari Lake. Say, your state, I'm afraid of the microphone, I'm afraid of lights, I'm afraid to hear my own voice, I'm afraid to talk to reporters. You're kind of wondering if Arizona voters might say, we're afraid for her to be our governor. In the end, the quality of the candidate matters.
It does. And by the way, Oprah supported John Fetterman in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
we just heard that over the past 24 hours. Here.